From the news and current affairs of Radio Finis, a pleasant welcome to another edition of Finis News. Now, we are your presenters, Theophilus Jika
and Dwedi and Miller.
And here are the top stories we follow in this edition.
Dissatisfaction over grade school distance learning in Maryland County. Police arrest a man who killed his girlfriend in Grangeda County. 2 arrested for gang raping a 14-year-old girl in Plebo.
And briefly on the international scene, ECOWAS could lift Mali sanctions on Friday. For the details of these and more, please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Let's now join Theophilus Jika.
Thanks, Dwedi. And if you're one of those living in Maryland County, I'm sure you've been aware of the rumors surrounding 2 transformers which were recently installed by SEPA. Well, there has been a mystery as to who brought those transformers into county. Well, the Chief Executive Officer of Cherry Energy Power and Associates, SEPA, Wada Dennis, has dispelled rumors that 2 transformers which were recently brought to Maryland County were bought by an anonymous politician vying for the Senate in the December-May term. Dennis's statement comes after rumors circulated that he and his team were sent to nearby Ivory Coast by a politician to purchase transformers for installation in the Maryland Avenue community known as the 18. Mr. Dennis clarified that the 2 transformers were brought into Maryland County after close consultations with partners in health and medical institution in the county to upgrade their facility with the WAP grade city power through negotiations with SEPA.
Some part of this year, they invited my engineer and I to the office and told us that they had the intention to buy some transformers from the Ivory Coast, and they were asking for the way forward. And we gave them all that they needed to do to get a transformer. So not to delay, some part of last month, they were able to put some funds together for us to go to the Ivory Coast to purchase this transformer. They wanted 160 kVA 1 and 100 kVA 1, 2 transformers. And Mr. Hodge myself did a breakdown, gave them the information, and they were able to facilitate us to go to the Ivory Coast to get the transformer. And for true, the transformer were bought and brought into the county last month, and the late part of last month. And as I speak to you, the transformers are here, and it was a contract between PRH and Cherry Energy Power Associate, and the contract was signed by both parties.
He, however, described the rumors as unfortunate, something he said could undermine efforts to restore power to the 18. Mr. Dennis has meanwhile called on Marylanders to desist from mixing politics and development.
The good now they want to do, the boss lady herself got fear now to take the current from the transformer to send out the 18, but it will sense out that since the rumor went around, this is why. Because one of the senators, according to them, one of the senators aspiring for the senatorial position is the one that bought the transformer or that gave the money or some other way influence them to buy the transformer. So their fear now is that when they shall send the current on the 18, then it will prove to the public that yes, it is true that one of the senators bought the transformer. Now they have to sit again to discuss whether they should give the 18 current or not. But now the way rumor going that one of the aspirants bought the transformer, so they scared now to do it. So they can say, oh, and you see what we're talking for true, the transformer where they say one of the senators they not buy. How come they send current on the 18? So they just in between.
The part of Maryland Avenue called the 18 has been out of electric power for about 6 months now since the transformer which served the area went down. The Pharmacist Division of the Maryland County Health Team observed World Pharmacist Day Friday, September 25, under the theme Transforming Global Health. In an interview with this station, pharmacist George Doki said the World Pharmacist Day is set aside by the International Pharmaceutical Federation FIP for pharmacies around the world. The day is aimed at promoting and transforming the lives of people through quality health care.
World Pharmacist Day. This day is set exclusively by the International Pharmaceutical Federation, FRP, to be celebrated by various nations around the world to give the role pharmacy play in promoting and transforming the lives of the people through quality health. And the theme for this year's celebration globally is transforming global health. Role pharmacy play in the transformation of the health of the people worldwide. Specifically in Maryland, there will be no special event or celebration, unlike this day today where we are informing the people about this great day, where the role of pharmacy is highlighted in the healthcare system, and as member of the healthcare team, as your drug expert who will advise you how to take a drug and who gives you the understanding of the rational use of the drugs. In the nation capital, the Pharmaceutical Association of Liberia has organized a program where the WHO representing Liberia will be serving as a keynote speaker.
Doki said pharmacists play a key role in the health sector as specialists on drugs. He added that pharmacists gave the prescription of drugs for patients and work in line with doctors, nurses, and physician assistants. He said the role of Liberia's pharmaceutical sector cannot be overemphasized. George Doki said medicines become poison when taken wrongly, something he described as a magic bullet, and used the time to encourage fellow pharmacists to do follow-ups with patients to ensure they take their medications properly. In Grand County, a 30-year-old man identified as Melvin Chie, who murdered his girlfriend Florence Julu in the Car Center community, has been arrested by the Liberia National Police. Our media colleague in Grand County, Gibson J. said Melvin gave his late girlfriend Florence Julu $20,000 Liberian to start a small trade at the local gold fields. The story continued that upon her return, Melvin then accused her of having a love affair.
In his early 30s and murdered his wife in the Car Center community out of Zwedru. The incident occurred at about 3 a.m. on the 22nd of September 2020. According to close family sources, this man identified as Melvin Tie, who is also in his early 30s and has a barber shop around the Liberia Benefit Development and Investment LBTI is Zwedru opposite the B2 group of enterprise. Gave about $20,000 to his wife after doing a hard hustling to go and buy some goods, some to sell for sustaining their families. And according to family sources, the girl, who is also identified as Florence Julu, age 26, went to Jazz Zone, one of the commercial hubs of Grand County, to buy goods to sell to sustain her family as per the amount of $12,000 her husband gives her.
Melvin went on the run after the act but was arrested Thursday in Vlay town near the Ivorian border. According to Zwedru Chief of Police Operation Lexington Bear, Melvin is currently in detention undergoing police investigation. He is expected to be charged and subsequently sent to court.
Melvin Chie was picked up between Liberia and Ivorian border, a town called Flaytown. We also have a borderline connecting with Ivory Coast. We just got a tip through our intelligence network that he crossed over to a gold mine, and through some other permanent citizens from Liberia here that have been residing in the gold camp doing some mining, through some other photos and other information I was shared with them. They were able to split security by bringing him over to the water side, and it was how he was turned over to the Liberia National Police and immediately taken to the headquarters of the Liberia National Police in Zwedru. Upon our arrival yesterday, for people to get to believe that if the murder suspect had been arrested, it draws some concern, and citizens gathered around the police station in a peaceful manner, just to be able to actually know the fact that the fellow had been apprehended.
Well, if you just joined us, let's recap the top stories we're following in this edition of Finished News Now. Dissatisfaction over grade school distance learning in Maryland County. Police arrest a man who killed his girlfriend in Grand County. 2 arrested for gang rape of 14-year-old girl in Plebo.
And on the international scene, ECOWAS could lift Mali's sanctions on Friday. Thank you, Tio. Several parents and guardians have expressed dissatisfaction over how the grade school distance learning is being administered in Maryland County. Distant learning was introduced by Liberia's Ministry of Education to end the second semester of academic year 2019-2020, which was interrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. All schools in Liberia lost at least 4 months as a result. To compensate for the lost time, the Ministry of Education designed the distance learning process wherein grade schools hand out pamphlets with lessons for a particular period. Those lessons are accompanied by test questions. However, there are numerous complaints from parents, guardians, and some students about the stress related to this process. Many parents complain about the overstandard excess of bulky work, which are expected to be completed in a very short time and returned to the schools by parents. The issue of illiteracy on the part of some parents is also a major hurdle as they have to scout around for people to do their children's assignments. Francis Fuka is a parent and he shared his thoughts with Rutherford Gardner on our Night Talk program Thursday night.
I think I would want to speak to the government as a whole. Technology is important. Here it is a luxury. If the students or the children are used to technology, they are introduced at an early age to technology, it will mitigate or solve some of these problems that we are having. But with the lack of advancement in technology or affecting our aspect, it will be difficult, even up to the university level. Not many persons are well versed when it comes to doing the online. So my take is that we have to invest in technology, invest in the infrastructure, even schools. The schools will say they having computer classes, but the computers, how many computers will even come on? So the computer class, if they even have, that even up to standard.
2 people have been arrested while one is on the run for allegedly gang raping a 14-year-old girl in Plebo, Maryland County. According to the Liberia National Police in Plebo, the parents of the victim on September 19 complained that her daughter was found helpless, lying in an old house at Zone 6 in Plebo. Arthur Griffiths, age 17, and Bill Johnson, age 18, were both arrested while on the run at the Plebo checkpoint. But another accused, only identified as Suarez, managed to escape the scene. The victim's parents, meanwhile, told police that they were informed by their daughter that the 3 perpetrators convinced that they were going to take her to a famous entertainment center, Exodus, just around the center square in Plebo for entertainment, but diverted along the way and took her to an abandoned old house in Plebo Zone 6 where the gang raped her. Medical reports prove that the 14-year-old girl was raped with multiple semen discharged in her vagina. Meanwhile, the 2 arrested have confessed to committing the act but claim that it was masterminded by their other friend Suarez, who is still at large. Alfred and Bill have been charged with gang rape and have been forwarded to the Plebo Magisterial Court. Judge Kennedy Peabody of the Civil Law Court says he wants jury trials banned as a means of limiting corruption in the justice system. According to Peabody, many jurors exploit a system that should be a national obligation by serving with a corrupt mindset. He believes that a good way to ensure justice for all, including the poor people, is to do away with the jury system and maintain trial by judges only. Trial by jury is a constitutional right enshrined within the Liberian Constitution. It is not clear how Judge Peabody hopes the judicial system can do away with the practice without violating the Constitution. He also called on lawyers to fight to ensure that vulnerable people in society could have better access to the justice system. He said lawyers have a special responsibility to fight for the less fortunate and encouraged the Liberia National Bar Association to take the lead, especially when it comes to helping to reduce the high number of pre-trial detainees at prison facilities in the country. Peabody has also called for an increase in the court term from 42 to 62 days to ensure that more cases can be tried. The judge made these observations during the opening of the 6th Judicial Circuit Court in Montserrat County.
And briefly on the internationals, in the 15-nation Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS, could announce Friday if it will lift crippling sanctions on the West African country of Mali. Incoming interim Malian President Ba Ndao is to be sworn in Friday in the capital Bamako for an 18-month term. On the eve of the ceremony, Ndao met with former Nigerian President and ECOWAS mediator Goodluck Jonathan. Jonathan said ECOWAS could announce Friday whether the official appointments satisfied the negotiations conditions to lift crippling sanctions. Jonathan told reporters Wednesday the soldiers now in charge are doing a job in line with ECOWAS leadership aims. He said the sanctions against Mali could be lifted following Friday's swearing-in ceremony. Ndao is the leader of the junta that took control of the country after ousting President Boubacar Ibrahim Keita. Well, that will do it from our end, but let's recap the top stories we've been following.
Dissatisfaction over grade school distance learning in Maryland County. Police arrest a man who killed his girlfriend in Grangeda County. 2 arrested for gang raping 14-year-old girl in Plebo.
And ECOWAS could lift Mali sanctions on Friday. We've been your presenters, Theophilus Chico
And Dwedi and Miller.
Thanks to all of you for playing the listening role. George Bonar sat at control, Rush for Gardner produced, package and edited. This has been a joint collaboration of the Finnish FM news team. Stay tuned. Alfredo Hamon is up with the news in our languages.